I'm Glenn Dyer, and you are watching a Dyer-Situation. See, I actually do have glasses. Today I'm going to be watching Get Hard. Just kind of my thing, trying to add movies in here I wouldn't normally see. Just because this doesn't sound too interesting to me, but, you know, I'm trying to diversify the show. So, yeah. Also, it seems to me that January has just been coming through. You know what I mean? Like, I'm looking at the lineup, and the best thing I'm seeing is the Kingsman, and that's been out for a while. And then there's Home, and Fast and the Furious 7, or Furious 7, whatever they're calling it. No, this seems like a January lineup, yet it's April. It's ridiculous. How is it? Is Star Wars and Avengers is coming out this year, right? Is that seriously drained the year so much that every other month that doesn't contain them is also completely barren? Like, I can understand December not having many lined up because they can't really compete with Star Wars 7, but, like, January through March is gone. And you can't tell me that it's Fast and the Furious 7 that's done it to April, because, yes, it has its fans and stuff, but it's not that huge. At least I don't think so, unless I'm completely out of the loop here. I don't think it's huge enough to where we're getting January material instead of the regular stuff. So, anyway, I'm seeing Get Hard. It stars Will Ferrell. I'm not expecting much of anything. It looks pretty stupid. It looks like, that's the thing with Will Ferrell movies. There's kind of two different types of Will Ferrell movies. One is actually clever and kind of funny, like Elf, to an extent, the campaign that I did, that I reviewed. And then there's the really stupid ones that, you know, come and go and you never think of them again. Like, I don't know, that remake, that Land of the Lost movie he was in, like, that's the thing, Will Ferrell's kind of hit and miss, so I guess I can say I hope this is hit. Well, the name's not really helping. But what can you do? Anything else I have to say about this? Not really. I'm just hoping that the year picks up a little. Like, even my best of the year was Pan. And to be honest, I kind of chose that movie because just because, well, it's the closest thing to original I could see. Like, when I was writing up the list of stuff, and, you know, I was writing up lists of best and worst movies, right? Just kind of trying to pare them down and see which one I think might be the best. The Pan is the closest there I could see to an original story. Like, on there was, like, Paul Blart Mall Cop 2, Star Wars 7, Avengers 2, remakes, sequels, reboots, relaunches. And yes, I know this Peter Pan movie is technically a prequel movie or something, but it's telling a different story, I guess. That's the only logical explanation for it, and it doesn't look like a terrible... I don't think it's a terrible idea. I think it could be a great idea. That's pretty much the only reason. Yeah, so not too happy with the lineup, but I'm gonna see a movie anyway because I'm back in the US and movies are much cheaper, so I may as well just go and do it. So I'll see you guys soonish. It was a little better than I thought. I did actually find myself laughing a lot at it, but that just might be the mood I was in. so I can't quite entirely back it up. It was pretty grotesque at times. I think really this kind of depends on your sense of humor. Surprisingly. I don't think it's anything like Scary Movie 5, where I don't think anyone, honestly, likes this movie beyond a first viewing or something like that. Or any viewing. I'm pretty sure the people in the theater with me in Scary Movie 5 were high off their asses. But nonetheless, this movie is definitely better than that. But not too high on my levels of comedies that I've done. Apparently they're making a Ted 2, by the way, and it looks worse. And there was quite a few trailers for comedies, but never mind, I don't do trailers. Let's see, how would I describe this? The premise is definitely interesting. I don't think I've heard of something like this before. If you don't know, the premise is an upper class, never been at the bottom white guy is going to prison, maximum security prison, for a crime he didn't do, of course, in 30 days. And he needs to learn how to stick up for himself in prison. So he hires a guy who he assumes has been in prison because he's black, but he hasn't. Of course, because that's a stereotype. And yeah, guess that's kind of the message. Don't trust stereotypes, but then they present a whole bunch of stereotypes. So I don't know if there was much of a message to it, but it was funny at times, at least to me. But definitely not for the squeamish. There was some pretty hardcore stuff, and to be honest, not that funny hardcore stuff. For instance, at one point he is about to give a guy a blowjob, and the most unfunny portrayal of a blowjob I've ever seen, including the girl with the dragon tattoo. So, that could have been handled better. Maybe not have that scene go that way at all might be better. Definitely not one of the best written comedies out there. It's essentially a weak premise to get through jokes, which I guess a comedy could be, yeah. But I didn't find I enjoyed it as much as I possibly could. I was mostly enjoying it because that's just kind of the mood I was in. I could enjoy almost anything, except Scary Movie 5. That would have still sucked. So, yeah, I'd see it, but only if your comedy maturity level is pretty low, probably in the still going to high school range. You might find it pretty funny, but which is ironic because the movie's rated R, of course. But and that's the thing. Definitely not for the squeamish, or if you don't like really over-the-top jokes. For instance, this movie does seem to think that Will Ferrell's ass is incredibly funny, because they show that on multiple occasions, and yep, there it is, right in front of my face. So, yeah, I now know what it looks like, and it's, yeah. I don't know. Not the best, but not the worst. That's pretty much it. Until next time, I'm Glenn Dyer, and you have been watching A Dire Situation.